It's Beaver Kool-Aid.
Beaver Kool-Aid.
John Lisle, L.A. Lloyd, and Drew Bennett.
Beaver Kool-Aid.
Three dudes talking about whatever the hell they want. It's narcissistic.
Check it out.
Remember, there's nothing wrong with being self-absorbed. It's Beaver Kool-Aid with Lisle, L.A. Lloyd, and Drew.
We'll breeze that look. So you guys that can get away wearing a hat, this is just, I don't have a hat head, so I can't take advantage of the head.
This is the only kind of hat I can wear. I look stupid in anything else.
You should get a cowboy hat.
You just throw on a cap and you're ready to go, dude. I mean, I throw on a cap and I look stupid. I can't wear a Ole Miss cap. I can't throw on...
Wife's from
nothing. Look at you, man. Instantly transformed. It's something palatable.
Looks like the Drew I know now.
Right, see, there you go. I can't. Lloyd, can you wear caps?
It depends. I can't wear one like Drew because I kind of look totally dorky. I can pull on like a baseball cap. You know.
Can you pull on a trucker's cap? I mean, you probably
no.
You probably grew up with those.
Well, yeah, I wore those as a kid, so I don't need to wear those anymore.
Right. You know that forehead just kept on going up for about another 6 inches, right? Yeah, when you wear that kind of cap, I thought that takes you back, the mesh back and the whole thing.
I kind of feel like if I wear a cap now, people say, "What are you covering your bald spot?" So you know,
right.
Okay.
I don't wear it because I'm just like, look, this is what it is. If I'm not hiding anything, can't wear any.
Why don't you get one of those caps that already has the hair underneath?
Yeah, see that would be nice.
How about that, man? Tell you, with bangs coming out the front of that bad boy. Maybe that would work for you because I can't throw on a knit cap. You know, that doesn't look right. I have to either go with what I've got or, actually bathe.
I really wish I could wear a knit cap, but just doesn't work for me. Yeah, I don't know. When you see a 50-year-old guy wearing a knit cap, I mean, that looks kind of silly anyway, doesn't it?
You want to wear a beanie? Is that?
Yeah. Randy Bonillas could pull it off, but
pull off the beanie. Well, no, we just didn't give him crap about it. But otherwise, it's you're not really pulling it off, man.
Right.
There's something about there's certain things it seems like you can pull off before you become a father. There's something about when you look at your kids looking cute and you realize whatever you were doing was not cute. It was really awful. That you stopped doing all that crap. That's when I quit bearing my midriff.
Yeah.
I got to this point and I just said, that's it, man. I'm going to go ahead and cover up all the way. You
got rid of the mullet too, so that helped out.
Yeah, well, remember when I thought that was going to go away because I thought it was just because of the sympathetic pregnancy or whatever the hell it's called, with my daughter, and I thought the belly was going to go away, all the weight gain, and it didn't.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was an awful thing. Yeah, there needs to be a cap for the gut, or
boy, tell me about it.
I mean, so when you got the sympathy away, when you gained that, then you didn't lose it after the baby got here.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not a good. I don't.
Right, it's not the way it's supposed to work.
Didn't really want to hear that though. You know what I'm saying?
Like, is that because you did the same thing?
I'm in it. I'm in it right now.
How much? Oh, okay. How much did you gain?
Yeah, you're a younger man than I am. How old are you, Drew?
40.
40. There you go. You're a younger guy. You still got just a tad of metabolism left.
A tad.
It's true. Tad. It is only a tad. It feels like only a tad.
Right.
It'll eventually catch up with you, though. I promise.
So I got some. If you need it, man, I got some testosterone toothpaste. I'll loan you.
What the hell is that?
Well, you take it the way you can get it. It's black market. I hope it works.
Did you go down to Mexico and get it?
Yeah, exactly. The guy peeled himself off of a building as soon as I crossed the bridge, because I'm afraid to go much further in, because I'm not good at crawling. Yeah, and so I loaded up on some testosterone toothpaste. I think it's going to be similar, very similar to the
he didn't even talk. He didn't even talk to the guy. He bought it from his cock, Lloyd.
There you go.
Wow.
I think it's going to be very similar to the pot I bought in Jamaica just as soon as I exited the airport.
Yeah.
And I thought, it's so readily available here.
I think you need to bring the gong back out, John. We've had a couple of gong moments already today.
Okay. Sorry, man. But several gong moments. Well, why don't you just fill that in later?
I will. Beaver Kool-Aid right here, ladies and gentlemen. Drew Bennett, John Lisle, who's looking a little retro today.
It was black light poster last time.
Yeah, well, I'm camoing myself because I haven't lost that weight from 7 years ago, Drew.
You should think about maybe like well, you can't talk through a mask. Be nice if you had one of those nice horse masks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, once again, I could go get some pantyhose, but I only have one good pair left. So, and I could use that. Now, I hadn't thought. We were talking about caps. The old pantyhose cap. Mm-hmm. Is an option as well.
Yeah.
Try that to kind of keep the cornrows down and the pantyhose cap. You know this, Lloyd. You grew up around that.
Yeah, we had a lot of folks that worked on the farm there that would wear those out in the fields. I don't know why. It looks like that would be the hottest thing in the world is to cover your head with a pair of pantyhose. But
no, because they worked for your would-be sheriff father, and that's all they could afford. Are you kidding me? Good gosh, they were afraid to speak up because they were going to taste the whip.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, right. Yeah, how many college kids did you have working out there in the fields?
We had a few. Had a few of my buddies out there. I had a few of my buddies. We probably had. Yeah. We all went out there. It was a very harmonious day in the field with the college kids and high school kids. Now you
say college kids, a.k.a. overseers.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Overseers.
Yeah, the college kids are the ones that ride on the wagon.
Right. Yeah, we got to drive the tractor and pull the tobacco to the barn. We weren't out there pulling it.
Yeah. Well, you're only going to let the college kids operate the mechanical stuff, the machinery. Right.
I wish those days were still around. I could take Drew out there and get him to experience true tobacco love in North Carolina.
Oh, yeah, man. You need to be sticky from the tobacco, Drew. Yeah, I mean, that's you need to go out there and do some suckering. That's what you need to do.
Well, I tell you what, there's nothing that says fun like sticky tobacco. You know what I'm saying?
My God.
Yeah. There's just something about the whole tobacco experience that people just don't know. They light up a cigarette and they all I'm fixated on is the 200, 300 chemicals that I've been sucking in. But the whole process, man.
I think that's why I never spoke, because I saw what went into it, man. All that. Good Lord. All that poison you spray on there for worms and, man.
And that's before the tobacco company gets at it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
That's just what goes on out in the field. Imagine what happens once they get a hold to it.
Oh, yeah. Right.
I can't believe I ever smoked. I really can't. I can't believe it. I smoked for 23 years and quit. It'll be 3 years in October, and I can't believe I ever did.
Well, it's a good time to give it up because you can't smoke anywhere in public, not even in the parks in Austin anymore. I don't know if San Antonio's got that far yet.
No, you could still smoke in the parks, as far as I know. But I don't really keep up with it, so.
Yeah.
In your Metallica T-shirt? I mean, in a Metallica T-shirt?
Wow.
I don't know. When you think about it, I don't know how many smokers there are really here. They never show that, where they try to determine per capita, how many smokers you have. This is a big boozing area, a big beer drinking city, but I don't know how much of a big smoking city it is. Sometimes you think smoking is either one way. It's kind of like the blue collar pursuit, or it's your coffee shop intellectual that needs to have a little smoky, or someone who's been to rehab and you need a little smoky, or yeah.
Speaking of rehab,
yeah,
we should talk about Axl Rose.
Well, I already had that first on my list today. Great minds think alike.
Because he basically has said, I respectfully decline. Here's what he says. I respectfully decline my induction as a member of Guns N' Roses to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I strongly request that I not be inducted in absentia, and please know that no one is authorized, nor may anyone be permitted to accept any induction for me or speak on my behalf.
Yeah.
Neither former members, label representatives, nor the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame should imply, whether directly, indirectly, or by omission, that I am included in any purported induction of Guns N' Roses.
Well, you already memorized that, Drew.
Hey, let me add to that.
Thank you.
Let me add to that. So let sleeping dogs lie, or lying dogs sleep, or whatever. Time to move on. People get divorced. Life doesn't owe your own happy ending, especially at another's, or in this case, several others' expense. Green Day was supposed to induct him, so now the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame doesn't know what they're going to do.
And Slash said he hates my guts. He said
Okay.
it's over a lot of different stuff I don't even know. There's just no communication between us. That's what he said.
So are they in or not in?
No one really knows.
No one really knows since Axl pulled that bullshit. So
I mean,
because
should they be in? Should they be in?
Well, I was
really based upon one record. Should they really be in?
Well,
I think they should.
Maybe 2 or 3 records.
No, I think they should. And the reason I say this is because, we talk about Drew's favorite band many times being Kiss, who is not there, I don't believe, right? They are not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Okay, Kiss and Alice Cooper are not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
But to add to John's question, I think they should be because the original Guns N' Roses at a point was my favorite band. I mean, there was nothing. They were the biggest band in the world. I mean, you take 89 to 91, 92, there was nobody bigger than Guns N' Roses at that time. I mean, they were huge. So I think that incarnation of Guns N' Roses should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm not a Guns N' Roses fan anymore with the Axl project there, but I think Slash and Duff and Izzy and all those cats should be inducted. I mean, it's been long enough.
It's all based upon one record. I mean, Use Your Illusion was just come on, let's face it. I mean, it's a few songs and then a pile of filler, and it was all based upon Appetite for Destruction. You're starting to whistle, aren't you, man?
I was getting ready to do a little.
Feel it, aren't you?
Well, I was getting ready to say that should have been a single. If that had been one album, just like Appetite, but Axl's arrogance got in the way, they had to do a double album. But if that had been one album, that would have been almost as good as Appetite. If you'd have had the real strong songs that were on those 2 records as one, it would have been just as great. I think.
Take me down to Paradise City, where the grass is green and the girls are pretty.
I take that back. Alice Cooper he was inducted in 2010, but bands like Kiss, Journey's not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Cheap Trick's not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So should Guns N' Roses go in before? I don't know.
I think they should.
I just think I have an issue with rock bands being in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And what does that really mean anyhow? Anybody going to go to Cleveland? But, it's bad when rock bands are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I mean, let's face it. I mean, half the people get inducted and you're thinking, well, is that a rock act? It's not a rock act, is it?
Well, I don't know. It depends on how they use the word rock because, I mean, another one of my favorite bands, and don't call me an asshole or a loser for saying this, got inducted there, and I 100% was behind it, and that was ABBA. And I thought... I thought they deserved to be in there. Now, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, that's definitely a stretch because they were not rock and roll. They were just a global pop sensation in the 70s. But Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I don't know. But I was wholeheartedly behind that whole fiasco there.
Is that because you heard that version of Pick a Bale of Cotton that I used to play on my show by ABBA?
I haven't heard that. I wish you'd bring that out sometime.
If we could play music, I'd have it on right now. I mean, because once you hear that, then they do belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Sure.
I totally forgot about that song.
But, back to Guns N' Roses, I don't know what they're going to do. I think, Axl is out of his mind. He's crazy. He's completely off the deep end. But I do think the Appetite for Destruction incarnation of Guns N' Roses deserves to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I mean, that album is like Zeppelin 4, like Back in Black. I mean, it's one of the all-time great albums.
Whoa.
Totally.
Oh, man.
Totally.
Appetite for Destruction's right up there with Back in Black, John.
I agree.
It really is.
I think so.
I don't know. I disagree. But then again, and Zeppelin 4? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, God.
I do.
No, I can't agree with Zeppelin 4, but that's okay. I once had a music argument with a guy when I was doing Top 40 is whether or not Donna Summer's version of MacArthur Park was musically more significant than Stairway to Heaven. And this raged for days. So, you're already on, the ABBA thing. You got, I got Gene Simmons down there. I got, I feel like I'm going to lose out. Appetite for Destruction.
Listen, John, I know that this is no Pictures at an Exhibition by Emerson, Lake and Palmer, but let's be real.
I wasn't a big ELP fan, and that stuff hasn't really aged well.
No.
Hasn't really aged well, but Appetite for Destruction. Look, I used to have this dummy called the Vigilante Stud that some people gave to me, and Guns N' Roses played at Sunken Garden Theater. I don't know, this is probably 87, 88, somewhere in there. And they were up at the studio and doing an interview, and they found my Vigilante Stud. And the next morning when I go in to do my show, I find the Vigilante Stud pretty much trashed out in the elevator. And I've never forgiven them since then. This violent, rock and roll. I've never forgiven them for that. It was a gift to me. It's like if somebody went over there and, pounced on something you have been given, Drew. Or Guns N' Roses found your Kiss bottle of wine and they smashed it up. I don't know if you'd ever forgive them for that.
He wouldn't.
He does say in this letter, he says, I certainly don't intend to disappoint anybody, especially the fans, with this decision. Since the announcement of the nomination, we've actively sought out a solution to what, with all things considered, appears to be a no-win, at least for me. Damned if I do, damned if I don't scenario all the way around.
Yeah.
It sounds like
he already disappointed the fans. Didn't he disappoint the fans a long time ago?
He disappointed the fans when he disbanded the band. I mean, it's already gone. But I don't know.
Every single one of the other members, by the way, plans on playing at the induction.
Well, fine.
Name another band who was kind of going through a lot of crap, but actually got back together. Would Van Halen be a good example? I mean, those guys. Aerosmith, but they still kind of get along okay. But
yeah, but Aerosmith went through a lot of crap.
But when you think of Eddie Van Halen and David Lee Roth, even though they're back together now, during that induction, they did not like each other at all. And I think any chances of them getting back together during that time, David Lee Roth kind of killed it because he made an ass out of himself on stage that night. I don't know if you remember seeing that or not, but he was up there doing the big grin and the big smile and all that stuff. So. That's the only other occasion I can think about. But
well, that was that time where England Dan and John Ford Coley were all over each other. That was pretty cool. That was violent, wasn't it?
But on ABBA's behalf, now they didn't show up either together. The whole band didn't show because they haven't performed together since 1978.
Well, I think two of them work at IKEA.
Where the hell is the gong? Oh, my God.
Slick, man.
That's good.
Very nice.
Very good.
But anyhow, I've never been a Guns N' Roses person, so I don't really care. And I just think it all gets to be kind of silly. And, be gone with your drama.
Be gone with your drama.
You really do need to be a big boy and just go and know that the band that you were in is actually bigger than you. And that a lot of people, that record and the ones that you made, after that one mean a lot to a lot of people, and you need to go and buck up and be a man and accept the award and the accolade and then go home.
Yeah.
If you don't like those people, great. But you should go. You should at least go. If they use Scott Weiland as the lead singer, I'm gonna puke. I'm so done with that.
They're not going to do that. And Axl he'll have his lawyers out there. There will be no performances. I can promise you they can't perform their song. I mean, I know that's what they're supposed to do, but after all this drama, I don't think they'll do it. I really don't. But
you don't think so? You don't think that anything's going to happen?
I think they'll acknowledge them and move on. And induct whoever else is. I don't even know who else is supposed to go in this year except for Guns N' Roses.
Who is supposed to go in this year? Because no one cares. That's why.
Yeah.
There you go. Thank you. That includes me. So I really don't give a crap. I think it's all silly, frankly. So I don't think.
I'll tell you who it is. It looks like. It looks like it's going to be. I've got the performers. The Chili Peppers are going to be there. Donovan, I guess he's getting inducted. The Comets, they went back pretty far, I think, on this one.
Comets? Never even heard of them.
Maybe. Yeah, the Comets.
Yeah, he didn't say the Hobbits, Lou. I mean, Lou. Excuse me, Lloyd. He didn't say the Hobbits.
It looks like the Beastie Boys are inducted this year. The Blue Caps, the Comets, the Crickets, Donovan, Tom Dowd, the Famous Flames, Guns N' Roses, Freddie King. They inducted a lot of guys. The Midnighters, the Miracles, the Red Hot Chili Peppers have been inducted this year.
Well, no wonder Axl doesn't want to go. He's surrounded by a bunch of no-name talents, except for Freddie King. I'll give him that. Wow. I don't know. I shouldn't say that. I don't.
Don Kirshner is inducted this year. That's kind of cool.
He should be. He was the inventor of the music video. I mean, let's be real. He was MTV before MTV was.
That's
cool.
Another person that needs to die. Then
I thought he was dead. No, that's the Soul Train guy. My bad.
Yeah,
that's Don Cornelius.
Yeah,
different.
And Sister Rose. It's too late to turn back now.
Don Kirshner is dead. He died. Last year.
I have to think that I don't think there's a lot of rhythm and blues and urban love getting in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this year. I mean, since like we discussed, there's all kinds of genres that go into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Why they call it that, I don't know. But it doesn't seem like we got a lot of urban and rhythm and blues going in there this year, outside of Freddie King. Of course, I don't know the Comets. Maybe they're rhythm and blues.
What? Bill Haley and the Comets, dude.
Oh, okay. Well, was Bill Haley already in there and they didn't nominate the Comets with him?
Yeah.
Where you coming from?
Well, of course I know Bill Haley and the Comets. I got you. I just didn't recognize them as the Comets. Hey, here's the Comets. And they're probably still touring out there. You see, it's bands like that wish they could get in there, and then assholes like Axl doesn't give a shit, Axl Rose and the Comets.
It's Beaver Kool-Aid.
Beaver Kool-Aid.
Okay, now, moving on to something that I hate the rock and roll, but I did see the Axl Rose stuff because I noticed his bad dye job, which was really a really bad dye job. Did you guys hear my wife? My wife told me about this today. Did you guys hear about this story in Argentina? And the stillborn baby?
No, haven't heard that one.
Basically, a woman gave birth. The baby's stillborn. They stick it in a little casket or something. Take it to the morgue. She's distraught. She never held her child.
Wow.
She never saw her child. So she goes down to I assume the morgue, and they open up the little casket. And the baby starts breathing.
Ooh, my goodness. Wow.
Yeah, and the baby starts breathing. So if she hadn't had this desire to go see the stillborn child, to hold the child, then the child, of course, would be dead.
Yeah. That's pretty heavy. That's a lawsuit waiting to happen, I guess. Was this like a third world?
But in Argentina?
Argentina, man.
In Argentina? Are you kidding me?
That's a hellhole down there, man.
Hey. Yeah. Well, in Argentina, they do things like that. So, well, thank God the mother went down there. I mean, that's the good news. I mean, now where does it go from here? Where does the story? What's the next step?
Well, it gets the hell out of that casket. I tell you, that's what happens.
Right. You name it with something with I don't know, death in the name, and life is good.
Yeah. Well, thank God for that, but still.
Well, I think that we can relate this to the true American spirit about never giving up, no matter what it is. Even when you think it's dead, you never give up, man.
Did
it's alive?
Did they declare it dead at the hospital, and it was already down at the morgue, and that's what the story was?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the baby's at the hospital. What was it? Just born? They thought it was stillborn.
Yeah. It was declared stillborn. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Did somebody forget to slap it on the ass or something like that when it came out? Maybe, and they just thought it was.
I think I've ever seen anybody.
Hey,
really...
because I'll tell you, they will screw it up for you in the hospital. I can tell you that firsthand.
Right. So let's see. It was 12. The stillborn Argentine baby found alive in morgue 12 hours after being pronounced dead.
Oof.
12 hours.
Man.
So I wonder if they opened the casket one last time and it came out and said, "Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my right tongue gal."
Now I need the gong. Now I need that.
That baby had a little top hat on. And a little cane, a little baby cane.
Oh my God.
The hospital said every staff member who was present at the birth thought the baby was stillborn. They think that vital signs may have disappeared as a result of hypothermia.
Wow. They must have really had that AC cranked up at that hospital, man.
Yeah, very miraculous. But once again, see, whenever things like this happen, you know, people always think it's divine intervention instead of an oops moment and you just got lucky. You know, whenever, you notice when you can't explain away, we talked about this before, you know, you try to explain away the bad things in life and somebody somewhere says, well, that's just God's will. And you go, well, it's beyond our comprehension and understanding. And then when something else happens like this, they all feel, because this woman said, I'm a Christian, I believe this was a miracle of God. Instead of, no, you just got really freaking lucky. And you went down to see your kid, you know, and maybe there was something inside you, but I don't know if it was divinely placed, you know, where you felt this need to go see this child and somehow it connected. But whenever anything happens like that, or if it's extreme coincidence or whatever, it always seems to be attributed to some kind of, you know, divine miracle.
I believe that was a miracle.
Well, it may in a way miraculous, but I say that in a secular sense, that I think it is, you know, it's a miracle that you actually felt the need to go down. But so you believe that somehow a divine force plants this thought in your head? Or
well, it depends on her situation. I mean, maybe she prayed for this baby and wanted it, and all of a sudden it's born dead, and then all of a sudden, you know, she goes to see the baby, and the baby's still alive. I mean, you don't know the whole background of her religious background, but if so, I mean, I would take that as a miracle for sure.
I mean, you know, there's odds calculated for all sorts of different events, and sometimes you beat the odds, and that's just the way it works.
Yeah.
But whenever anybody does that, they always think it's a miracle, and somehow it's divine intervention.
Sometimes it's just a damn good coincidence, right?
Yeah. No, things just happen, and it wasn't, you know, it's not attributed to some kind of supernatural force. Things just happen. I mean, if you were one of the people that won the lottery, the Mega Millions, I mean, are you thinking that's, God wanted me to have this?
Nah, I don't think. I think that's just luck. I think that's just luck. But I think in a life and death situation
I think this is just luck too.
Well, you know, it could be, but we don't know. It could be something very supernatural or divine intervention, and you know, who knows?
You know how it is. I mean, you get 3 million people killed in a natural disaster, and then you say, well, wait a minute, you know, was this divinely inspired as well? Was this created that way?
The only way that you will ever know that is to ask Pat Robertson. He typically knows those. He typically knows those things, is what I'm saying.
My point is, whenever something good happens, it's attributed to some divine intervention, and then when something awful happens, then people just say, well, it's beyond our understanding.
Yeah.
You know, which to me is so illogical. I can't deal with it. So, and this is coming from a guy who doesn't live in Austin. Okay.
Well, you know, that's a big debate. That's a big debate right there. But, you know, like you said, I think it's based on each person's own personal belief. And in this situation, coming from my standpoint, I think that's a true miracle. You know? Look,
man, I mean, if we're going to talk about this any further, you guys are going to have to wait for me to burn some incense. And I can't even fresh out of Nag Champa, too.
And...
fresh out
patchouli.
Well, but I think that this was not because of what we were talking about, Drew. I think it's a masking agent, isn't it? Because we see how you look. So isn't it a masking agent?
He looks
good.
We
saw how you looked before you put that ball cap on. So yeah, look, it's so it's something that I have to do if
we've changed the name of the show to Wake and Bake.
Wake and
Bake. That.
All of a sudden, once in a while, you see the mist of the hidden Febreze bottle.
Wake and Bake.
There is a hidden Febreze bottle with him.
Right, yeah. So the reason why Guns N' Roses will, Axl Rose will not perform is, well, it's divinely. There it is. Look at this. Hey, we're close. Nice.
It would take a miracle to get that band back together, that's for sure. Yeah. So we would need some divine intervention from God.
That would be a miracle.
That would be a miracle.
You know what would be a miracle is if the remaining members, did come out and then Jesus sang.
How about that, huh?
Mm. That would really be a miracle. If Jesus came out and fronted Guns N' Roses and sang "Welcome to the Jungle," I think that would be a miracle.
Would be good. Would it be the European Jesus, or which Jesus would it be?
It would be the American Jesus singing "Knocking on Heaven's Door." I mean, come on.
Yeah. with that snake.
There you go.
Oh man, you guys are gonna burn in hell. You're gonna burn in hell, all of you.
That's what Jesus did. He covered that Humble Pie song, 40 days in the desert. 40 days. All right. Jesus. I just always wonder which Jesus is going to come out. Jesus comes out there, no one's going to recognize him. It's like I always said, what if God spoke to you and he had a lisp? I mean, does that change everything?
He wouldn't have a lisp because he's perfect.
Oh, well, what do you mean? Of course he's going to have a lisp.
What if your lack of a lisp makes you imperfect?
Well, there you go.
Yeah, well, how about that, Lloyd?
Hey, you might be right. You might be onto something.
Did I just blow your mind?
You did. You just totally took me out the door.
Lloyd, you're not going to wear that out, are you? I mean, that was always one of my things. God finally speaks to you and, and you go, oh, my God. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Right. And he has a lisp. Does everything change?
He finally speaks to you while you're watching American Idol and says, "Can we not turn it to The Voice?"
Hey, I know for a fact that God does not have a lisp. God does not have a lisp. I watched the 10 Commandments the other night, so he spoke fine.
Yeah, right.
He was good.
Yeah.
No lisp going on there.
Yeah. No, you sure?
No lisp. Charlton Heston didn't even have one, so Moses was fine too. No lisp. Could have worked on those sandals a little bit, got him some Birkenstocks, but other than that,
All right, well, then I'm going to back away. I should never bring up religion on this show.
You can bring up religion. I don't mind talking about religion.
No, I can't because I don't have my banjo at the ready.
What is next? I mean, we started with politics this morning, and then we went right into religion. So what can we do next?
We haven't done politics.
We did music. We did Guns and
music.
Well, that is the politics of Axl.
I'm sorry. I was so incredibly high when we started this morning. I forgot.
Yeah. You're tripping back to yesterday.
Yeah. We did talk a little politics yesterday. We did.
Day before, yeah.
Day before, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we covered Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which to me is still so silly.
And the Argentina divine intervention,
the Miracle Baby.
Yeah, that was good.
The Miracle Baby, which is still incredible. Since we're all parents, that would just be. Just absolutely unbelievable. I mean, you're heartbroken, your baby is stillborn, and then you find out, no, your baby is alive. That's just incredible. And now this last thing was, what does that say?
Yeah. Forget the Church, Follow Jesus by Andrew Sullivan.
Exactly. Right, because all these people that co-opt what, if you follow...
Hey, is that Andrew Sullivan? Because that's an uncanny resemblance to Jesus.
This is, here we go. It's,
wow, look at that guy.
City where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. Oh.
Wow.
He would sing Paradise City.
Of course he would.
What were we thinking? Of course he would.
You're going to heaven. That's Paradise City, for goodness sake. Come on.
But, and what Andrew Sullivan asserts is that you have all these people who have just taken over the message, and no one lives like Jesus. You have your boy there at the summit in Houston talking about Joel Osteen about you can get promotions, you can make money, you can do. Whereas if you're Christ-like, you don't have possessions, you don't have money. It's all about your, neighbors and whatnot. And modern day, especially evangelical Christianity, is fraught with a lot of hatred, a lot of divisive messages. It's not Christ-like at all. And I hope this summer to see, one of the things in this article was Thomas Jefferson took the New Testament and cut out everything of the New Testament that he thought that he thought was Christ-like, and got rid of everything else. Mm-hmm. And this Bible is on display at the Natural History Museum in D.C., and I'm going up there in June. It'll be on display till the end of June, and I want to check it out, because that's what he did. He said, let's get rid of basically the garbage that's in here. Mm-hmm. And reduce it down to the pure message. And once you see the pure message, whether you're Christian or not, you can see that all these entities that profess to be are certainly not Christian, not at all, not even close to it. Yeah. Because to be Christian is to be Christ-like, not to be Joel Osteen-like, or any of these other people. I mean, it's anything that's saying that the belief in being Christ-like equates to monetary success already. You're on the wrong road, and you're in error.
Just to add to that, Sharp has an 80-inch television. Have you guys seen that?
Yeah.
It's 1080p LED. I got to get one of those.
$4,500 at Costco.
Yeah, I saw one yesterday.
$4,500.
It's about as thick as an iPad. I mean, it's a.
So I'm nowhere near following that one you're talking about. I gotta get
child of mine. Whoa, 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 child of mine. Well, it's a frequent topic around here, in my household, because we run a secular household, and so it's But at the same time, I'm very much steeped in the church, so. Because that's the way I grew up, so I'm aware of these different things. But it's one of these things, like I said before, the lines have become so blurred in all this stuff, and it's the same thing with politics and religion combining, where we are now, where basically to be non-Republican is to be non-Christian. At least
that's the way they want you to think it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, see, there's some agreement, Drew. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, man.
I don't think that if I just don't see him coming if the Christ thing is the truth and everything. I don't see him coming down and voting for Mitt Romney this year. You know what I'm saying?
Probably no. Well, no, he was all over Santorum.
Or Santorum
did the right thing, and not because he faced humiliation by losing Pennsylvania. He withdrew because of the health issues of his daughter. So it had nothing to do with the impending humiliation of not winning the primary in your home state. It had nothing to do with that. He's
changed his whole path towards the Jets winning the Super Bowl now. That's what it's all about now. So that's where he's going. He's trying to get the Jets in the Super Bowl next year.
That guy is a creep.
He's my God.
Tim Tebow is going to be, playing for God's team next year.
He's going to be riding the bench for God's team.
Yeah, well, you don't know that. Someone said there could be some divine intervention that the starter is going to get knocked out.
Mark Sanchez, Sanchez has, once again, has a Joe Theismann injury.
Tim Tebow steps right in. And,
I think the joke was Peyton Manning signs with the Broncos. Tim Tebow says, "God, why hath thou forsaken me?" And God says, "Go Cowboys." I think that's the joke. Right?
Very, very.
Yeah. Nice. Well, the Cowboys may be America's team, but now we know who God's for. He's for the Jets. It's all the way. Go green and white.
Gosh, you really got it bad, man.
You really do got it bad. Are you and Joel Osteen going to check out some Jets games this year?
Actually, we're putting the plans together right now for a big worldwide conference there, and where the Jets play at. What stadium are they in now? Pardon.
See what happens.
Are they still playing the Meadowlands or something like that?
Yeah. Okay. See what happened. You remember when Jerry Jones said that when he bought the Cowboys, he just got there and got on Texas Stadium and just decided to lie down on the field and just kind of gaze up and say, "This is mine." Mm-hmm. And then this is kind of like what Joel Osteen does in the Summit, or whatever they call it now, And so he does that. He just gets in there and says, "This is freaking mine." So once in a while, he invites people in, kind of like a Beaver, to go see movies there in L.A. It's the same thing. He invites people like Lloyd in, and there's just the two of them there, and some cable knit sweaters.
Yeah.
And watching the Jets, man.
Absolutely.
And his crib, man. This is mine right here. This is all mine. And because Jesus wanted it that way.
Well, that's the way it rolls, man.
And he turns to Lloyd right as kickoff starts, and he says, "Lloyd, what do you think about my sweet curly mullet?"
You can touch it if you want.
It's Beaver Kool-Aid.
Beaver Kool-Aid.
So, who needs an extra $16 million?
Me. I gotta buy that 80-inch TV.
Well, according, just got this in. Britney Spears will be joining X Factor as a judge next year for $16 million. Not confirmed, but
yeah,
that's $16 million to join the X Factor. And I don't know what the deal is, but I've got to the point now this year. I've been sucked into every one of these shows. I watch The Voice on Monday night. I'm watching Idol on Wednesday night, watching who gets kicked off the following night. I don't know, because I went for about 5 or 6 years. I could care less. This year, for some reason, totally got sucked back into it again. And
into which one?
Well, both of them.
I think that's because you're not really working, Lloyd.
Well,
because before, by the time you got off the air.
That might have something to do with it, too. Yeah.
By the time you got off the air, did your party and had some pops at the Palm, man. These shows were done.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, now you got to get into Safe Family Fare. I can't watch. I try to watch these shows, but I cannot stand people over singing songs. I mean, every one of these kids, they all over sing songs. It seems like,
Yeah, I'm with you on that for sure.
I think there's some pretty good talent this year, though, on American Idol. I mean, and again, I haven't watched it in 4 or 5 years. I don't have anything to compare it to the past few years. But when it first started, Kelly Clarkson, she's had longevity. She's, 12 years ago she was picked?
She's endorsing The Voice now.
Well, I know. How funny is that?
Oh, my gosh.
Now, how does that happen? Because I would think with a contract with Idol, you're pretty much locked in for life. But, yeah, she's actually one of the coaches on The Voice that comes in as a guest of Blake Shelton.
Once again, the cult of personality is bigger than the talent on the show. Now it's all about the judges that you can get to see if you can, just kind of keep up interest in the show. With Howard Stern on America's Got Talent, and that I think the new season debuts in the middle of May. What people don't know, you win America's Got Talent and you get $1 million.
Yeah.
Right, and I think they put you in some Vegas show or something. I'm not positive on that. But if you read the fine print that goes by really fast, it's a 50-year annuity.
Wow, really?
Yeah, something like that. It's either 50-year, 25 years. So you're not getting jack for winning that show. It's not like here's the foam core check for $1 million. You don't get that. So it becomes all about the judge's reaction to all these different things, just like American Idol. So if you get Britney Spears on the X Factor, first of all, she's got to be an idiot. I can't believe that she's very bright. So you're not bringing anything to the show. You're not going to have any kind of depth, or gravitas to bring to the show so that, it becomes intriguing, which was all the, the Simon Cowell stuff, whether you liked him or didn't like him or whatever. And he always liked certain acts. But the thing is you felt like, he's bringing something to it.
Yeah.
Instead of, even now, it just, there's, on American Idol, there's no one who's really going to make somebody cry because they're telling him something they don't want to hear. I haven't seen anybody be really,
judge-wise, but they've got Jimmy Iovine on there. And, I mean, how many people's this guy signed, from Interscope?
Right, but I think they had to kind of throw something else in there, once again, to give it a little bit more depth.
Yeah.
The X Factor no one cares about.
The only reason they're bringing her in is just for the star status, because again, you don't take advice from Britney Spears. Yeah, you don't take advice from Britney Spears giving you constructive criticism on how you sing, because she was a pop made in the studio kind of star. It's all
the kind of critiques that she's going to give are going to be like, oh my God, that is such a cute top.
No, that's what Steven Tyler says every week on American Idol. Baby, you look hot tonight in that shirt. Can you get that hair down tonight?
But anyway, they only signed her because they've got to get some star power injected into that show, or it's doomed.
Yeah,
I know.
I actually watched the X Factor last year, and I thought it was okay. I mean, you know, I thought the production value was great, and then of course Idol comes back this year, and their production is much better. But I thought, you know, overall the show looks better than any of them that's on there. They just didn't have any talent. I mean, all the talent.
Now, ordinarily, I would say, well, I have to defer to you, Lloyd, because I've never watched, but you are the same L.A. Lloyd who said, yeah, ABBA should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, aren't you?
That would be me.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I did turn my head slightly when I went to go get that magazine, and maybe somebody else filled that chair. You know,
That's my twin FLA Floyd. So.
And obviously a malformed twin at that. So. Nice. Like, see, Drew's ready to he needs his oatmeal. I'm sorry to bog you guys down in the religious thing.
No, well, it's good.
I know you gotta get out of here at 11, right?
You at least
I have to go because I got to go have a young woman rub my neck.
The religious thing, at least you're not like Bill Maher. If you don't believe, if you are a believer, he totally immediately hates you, and he just ridicules you, and that's the way he is. It's just like, if he could be at least open to a conversation, you know, instead of just being 100% asshole to anyone who has religious belief.
Who?
Bill Maher. You know,
yeah.
You know, he's mean-spirited about it. I mean, you know, it's like, okay, dude, you don't believe, you're an atheist. That's totally cool, but to be mean-spirited,
is he an atheist? I thought he was agnostic.
No, he's 100% die-hard atheist. Yeah. He's gone.
Yeah, and I, you know, and since, you know, my belief is pretty much the same as his, I also do agree with you.
Yeah.
That sometimes you can take it a little too far. And it's like, we get you, but you don't have to. It's the same thing, you know. You get to the point where you go, okay, this is my faith, and you know, you don't have to belittle it. I mean, you wouldn't go into some other culture and belittle their faith, you know, because then you, of course not, because you would be a tourist and you're just supposed to observe and take pictures.
Yeah.
You know, and buy some trinkets. So yeah, sometimes it gets a little tough for people of faith when you know, it's like that. So I can understand that.
Are there more atheists now than there used to be? I mean,
yes. Yeah, younger people. Far more. Yeah, younger people.
I'm starting to see a lot of it online.
Yeah.
A lot of it.
Yeah, there's a, you know, and you know, it's even like me. I mean, you know, there's a professor out of UNC who writes some really good stuff. One of the books is Jesus Interrupted, I think, or something like that. But may not be here. But and then later on, when he started getting in seminary, he started learning things from an intellectual standpoint that he thought, well, how come this is never shared with congregations? How come this is never shared with the little people? You know, those who are biblical scholars, to really break things down, because, you know, everybody thinks that when they look at the Bible that it's literal, and that it was just, you know, like somebody stuck a microphone into a disciple's face and they spoke, and somebody just, you know, wrote it down, or these guys went and wrote things down, and they don't realize that all these things were finally recorded hundreds of years after something. So it's kind of like all of a sudden Uncle Remus tales become, you know, gospel in a way. And so it's, you know, if people look at things and that's what happened to this guy, you know, eventually he just kind of lost faith because he, you know, like he said he couldn't rectify the good God with the bad God. Like, if you're a good God, you don't let bad things happen. And but his books are really good. And I actually slipped one to my mother. Kind of tough once again. She probably cried on that one. Probably made her cry on that too. But I said, just, you know, because she's a reader, I said, you know, you may want to read this just to, I don't think at 80 she's going to question her faith, but sometimes you need to open up a little bit.
Has she given you her summary of it? Did you read it?
No, but she hasn't given me the book back, and now it's been over a year.
She burned it. She probably
did burn it. I think she did burn it. Boy. I think she really did.
Right there in the town square in front of the library, in front of everybody.
Yeah, I don't think she went to Sunday school and passed it around. I don't think so. But his stuff is real. I mean, it's, you know, he's a widely read guy, and I recommend that to anybody who's interested in religion. But yeah, Drew, going back to your deal, yeah, there are far more non-believers among young people.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of that. A lot of people talking about it online.
And the thing is I think that you need to have some kind of faith. because otherwise you'll just, wig out. I don't know faith in what. The guy's name is Bart Ehrman, who was a professor at UNC. But if you're interested in the Bible,
that sounds like a guy I'd want to listen to, Bart Ehrman.
But I think he's written a lot of different things.
That guy Bart knows what he's talking about.
But I think if you ever have a chance to pick up that book, you should. If you're interested in the Bible.
There's a church down the street that every Wednesday night at 6:00 they have church that are themed around Andy Griffith episodes. And this is no lie.
Around the
moral of each episode, different stories, and they actually teach. I guess it's not Sunday school, but religious classes, if you will. Yeah. Wednesday night, 6:00, based on Andy Griffith episodes.
And Clara on piano.
Opie the Birdman.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, somebody's taking the easy way out.
I'm going to go check these out one night. I mean, to me, I think it'd be fun.
I think you should.
At least if you walk out of there with a good feeling about yourself, Well, I mean, what's wrong with feeling good about yourself and giving you some hope and,
There's nothing wrong about that.
A simpler time.
There's nothing wrong about that. That's what I feel like when I walk out of the bar. I usually feel better about myself than when I went in. Yeah. Now, the next day, it's a whole different matter.
Well, there you go. You got to pay to the piper.
But if you guys ever care enough, Jesus Interrupted, check it out sometime. It's all about the contradictions in the Bible. It's very interesting.
Well, thank you for.
I read it at the beach 2 years ago.
Really?
Yeah. Who else isn't reading? Biblical stuff at the beach.
Well, I hope your therapy goes okay today, and you come back bigger and better than ever. Drew, you got a busy day?
I got a busy day.
Well,
all right, man. Well, I'll think about you when those nimble little fingers of the 20-some-year-old are rubbing on my neck.
All right, there it is.
Oh, by the way, I am in Vegas starting Friday. So I will.
Where are you playing at? Mandalay Bay or
playing at the Mandalay Bay?
Nice.
The band is playing at the Mandalay Bay. Sweet. We've got the NAB is this weekend, so I'm heading out for that. But I'll be back on Monday.
Beautiful. Well, take some Beaver Kool-Aid with you and spread the word.
I'll do it.
All right.
All right. Edit heavily, Lloyd.
You got it. We'll see you guys later.
Edit heavily.
Edit heavily, baby. I'll talk to you guys later.